And that's the beauty of art as well. Like, you can't put words, that's why you make a film about it, right? I'm Davy Chou, the director of Return to Seoul.
I'm the person who played in Return to Seoul.
C'est la seule chose qui me reste de la Corée.
C'est ta mère?
Biologique, je pense, oui.
Tu vas essayer de retrouver tes parents?
Non.
Pourquoi non?
네가 와서 우리랑 같이 살았으면 좋겠어.
I have my family and my friends over there. He has to understand that I'm French now.
T'es aussi un peu coréenne.
The premiere of the film was in Cinevillepas, and which is an Asian film festival in Netherlands, in Amsterdam. I used to come in Amsterdam for personal reasons, but it was the first time for me to be really surrounded by the Asian community here in Netherlands, and it was kind of fantastic to see that. And when you ask about like what at the end the film is about, really about a woman who goes to a country where she knows nothing about, but where she's supposed to come from, and what do you feel about that, this displacement, this feeling of not belonging, and I think that's a feeling that it's very universal today actually. So I believe that, yeah, I'm looking forward for the audience to watch the film, because I think it kind of try to tackle that kind of specific mood and feeling that maybe, yeah, it's not that common in other films usually.
One of the main reasons that I accepted this to be part in this project, it was that it is a story about an Asian woman also. We see Freddie only in Korea mainly, but she is coming from French society because she was adopted in French family when she was really a little baby. I think I was interesting to have the possibility to show a little bit different way of showing a woman character. I think it was the main reason that I was interested in that story and in that movie.
The essence of the film, and at the end what I try to think when it's challenging and you feel a bit confused, that's a portrait of a woman. That's what I feel. So that makes it a bit easier for me as well to sometimes when you need to make choices and have different directions, that at the end what matters for me is to be with her and to create and to maintain a connection and a bond between the audience and the character of Freddie, even though she's not like the typical character that wants to be like. On the opposite, she's kind of like anti-conformist in terms of her behavior and her personality sometimes. But it's a portrait of that woman through the years of 8 years, and feeling her evolution, staying with her, and seeing where she gets at the end. So that's of course the topic of identity, the quest for herself, finding home. But that's all inside that portrait of a specific individuality that I was trying to focus on.
What are you listening?
It's Korean music. Tu ne connais vraiment rien de la Corée?
Non, rien.
Where are you from?
France. 이분 전국적인 한국이상이죠. 건배.
It was challenging for me to deal with a man, like Davy actually, making this movie, because I think I would not have the same relationship with a woman filmmaker, for sure. So yeah, it was a challenge not to win a battle, even if like I had like some, I think I had some fights, yeah, and I have, but also in my head I have some fights to defend for me and for, not for all women, but I had some political like statements actually, and so to work with a man doing a movie about a female character as a main character, yeah, it was a big challenge, not only for myself but also for him, I hope, and we as a human being, not just as a filmmaker or a person who plays in a movie. To
follow what Ji-min was saying, to make a film about a woman where I am not, Of course, I knew it when I was writing the film. I knew that there would be a challenge because my previous film was more about like boys, I would say. I made the film because it was inspired by the real story of a friend who accompanied me in 2011 for my first trip in South Korea, and we happened to meet with her Korean biological father. So he came from her. But when I was interested to make that story, I was just out of an impulse. I saw also the possibility of challenging myself into making a story centered on a woman, which I never did. And I thought of like how to do that and how to think to be respectful and stuff, but it's really when I met Ji-min that kind of challenge went to another step where she was like straightly and confrontingly challenging me, opening the script and asking me to justify myself on dialogues, on scenes, on behavior of Freddie towards male characters or other female characters or Asian characters and blah, blah, blah. And so we engaged into debates that was like before and during the rehearsals that we did in summer 2021, a few months before shooting the film. And I couldn't like at the time imagine myself in that kind of intensity and level, because I was thinking, yeah, we're going to discuss a bit, which we always do with actors. And actors don't just like sign and do the thing, and they're interested to know a bit more and they discuss their character. But here the discussion were a bit more precise, and she would not give up, I would say, and I would not give up as well. And I was thinking maybe we do compromise, but after a few days or a few weeks maybe of trying to find compromise, I figured out that there was not the right way, and the right way was what she was telling me, which is I had to step back a bit and just listen to what she had to say, because her experience as a female Asian living in France will be always closer to the experience of Freddie than my own experience and my own interpretation. So once that, and again, I say fast like that, but it took weeks to understand that and to process that and to arrive to a point of crisis in which we were, like she was nearly stepping out of the film, I would say. And not just her, but also the other actress, Goo Han, who plays Tena, the best friend of Freddie. It was like a very key moment, I think, in the process of the film, but also maybe in my life or in my career as a filmmaker, to understand, to realize the importance of that and to just accept to step back. And I think really the result on the film, the result of what we see from Freddie in the film that the audience receive is really the result of that moment as well, that collaboration, but also that kind of realization of consciousness. And when I met Ji-min, I felt that she understood the character so deeply, like personally, and that we talk about a lot of things, but at the end, the real thing, we don't talk about it because we know. Yeah. And after on screen, she just delivered that. I think, and it's about that secret emotional connection that I think, and that's the beauty of art as well. Like, you can't put words, that's why you make a film about it, right? Yes. Yeah.
It's so beautiful when you see a form of creation, when you take another path to tell a story, even if it's a true story, the freedom that you can maybe access a little bit when you have this moment of creation with so many people involved in it. That's it, the magic of art.
이렇게 전화가 안 되네.
J'ai eu envie de tout foutre en l'air aujourd'hui.
Ça, je connais.
Et tu fais quoi dans ces cas-là?
Je fous tout en l'air. 뭐라고 말을 좀 해봐.